Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. We have an old friend in the studio. It's Bart Darfler. And some of you who listen closely might recognize his golden tones from our documentaries. But what he's really here to talk about today is his own business, which is Darfler Benefit Auctions and Consulting, because you're an auctioneer. And people also are probably going to recognize you from the many events that you've done around the area as the auctioneer. You bring something different to the table, I think. Tell me, you've got 3 points, 3 goals that you like to give every client of yours. So tell me a little bit about those.
Thank you, Liz, and thanks for having me on again.
It's always a pleasure.
I like to go into every auction, even though every event is different and every client's goals might be different. If you have 3 main goals, they would be, obviously, raise as much money as you can. Second goal would be to make sure you thank and recognize, acknowledge your sponsors, your donors, and your volunteers as often as you can. And third and finally, deliver an enthusiastic and exceptional auctioneer and fund-to-need performance. Entertain. And if your people go away entertained and feeling good about supporting your organization, you've had a great success.
Now you, not only are you the auctioneer, but you bring a lot of experience in some, and this is the consulting part of your business, and how not-for-profits can really improve their auctions and therefore get more money, which is what we're all after in this competitive world. So tell me a little bit about what your advice is.
Well, I really feel that I earned the fee that I'm paid well before I ever take the microphone. And what we do is we sit in our committee meetings and we lay out the entire event so that we're presenting a professional, choreographed or produced presentation that the people are going to enjoy, that's seamless. When you go to see a play or a well-run production, you just go, they made it look so simple. And we really want our supporters, our donors, and the people that are attending that want us to succeed, we want to show them our appreciation by putting on a good event. So we address everything from sound, lighting, staging of the items, a PowerPoint presentation, the selling sequence of the items, where our volunteers are needed, and so forth. So much happens in those details. And I get involved so that, like I say, when we go to that night, when that night arrives, we're ready, and we're going to put on a great show for the audience, and I've earned my fee because it'll come out in the end results. We will have set new records and money's raised.
And does that go into your philosophy behind this?
Very much so. As I mentioned earlier, I really think you want to thank and recognize the people that are supporting your mission. And what's beautiful about putting on a good event is more than the net dollars raised, in that you have an opportunity in front of 400 or 500, 600 people to share your mission story and educate the people that are there, because you might have board members, future board members in that audience that come away very impressed because you've put on a great show. You might have future volunteers. I've had in the past donors who have insisted, I'll be happy to give you my Caribbean condo, but you got to put it in the live auction because I know I'll get the props and be recognized, and my company will get recognized as well. So it's more than the money raised. You're going to send people out after that event's long over, and the dividends will keep coming back to you long after that date is passed.
Well, and I think people underestimate the role of the auctioneer, which is you. That you really know what you're doing. Having seen you on some tape that we've done for you, that you really work that audience. You really help drive that money up for that item, which is, again, part of the reason we're there.
Right, and it's part of the prep work too. You have to know what the items are ahead of time. There are what may appeal to initially one group in the audience if you know something about that item that you can share while you're selling it. And as I tell my audience, benefit auctioneering is not a spectator sport. You want them to participate. You don't want them on the sidelines, you want them with you. So engaging the audience and having fun with them really makes a difference. And here again, it's not just the auctioneer, it's the whole presentation, whether you've got the support of a PowerPoint, if you're incorporating music, and how you display the items, that's all part of it. But it comes with experience as far as working the audience. And I don't want to underplay either the fact that many organizations also include what's called a paddle raiser, a fund to need, where you're asking people to donate money and you're not selling an item, but we want to raise money to support our cause and our mission. And that's very important in terms of engaging the audience. If you tell a compelling story, you'll have people willing and wanting to help support that with their financial donations.
Well, I think you bring it. You said experience, and that helps because you are encouraging and helping that not-for-profit to think that event through. And, you know, not-for-profits were lean, we're working hard, so we may not always think of all those details that you're going to think of, like the sequencing of the items. That's, if I were going to do an auction now, I would not. I don't think I would put them all in the right order. I think I'd probably hold my big ticket item to the end, but that's about all I think I would know to do.
Well, and that's, sequencing is very important because you do have some items that are going to complement one another depending on the order. Typically, you will see the best items at the end of the live lineup, but you also want to capture people's interest and generate activity and participation early on, and enthusiasm. The live auction is very upbeat, and you want people to have a lot of fun and be engaged.
Well, and we're so instant gratification now that I think you've got to keep that auction at 100%, if not 150%, the entire time now because you have so much to compete with.
Well, typically the auction is your highest profit center. A lot of the training I've received over the years, typically you have 17 different profit centers in a room. Some are more labor intensive than others, but the live auction and your Fund to Need are probably your number one and number two income generators for that effort to that point. But what I bring to the table here again in the preliminary pre-event planning is what profit centers work best for your audience and for your goals and objectives. You don't want to nickel and dime your audience to death. You want to make them here again enjoy the event.
Well, it's planning ahead a little bit. So if people want to consider you for their auctioneer, they need to be planning ahead to get in contact with you. Because I imagine you're just book solid.
Well, yes, I am busy, but there's a season to this.
Right.
And I do a lot of golf outings as well. And in some cases now, I'm doing just a Fund to Need where they don't do a live auction. And I'm going to do something at Goose Island Brewery not too long, in about 2 weeks, where I'm just doing a Fund to Need.
That's awesome.
So it's very exciting.
It is very exciting. Bart, you're a wonderful guy. You care a lot, and I think that's the secret to your success. And you love what you do, I can tell, too.
I really do. I'm passionate about it. Thank you so much.
And we're going to be right back with more Business Connections. Stay tuned.